Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and as you can see in front of me or around me, I'm spreading slurry, and at the minute I'm just about to start spreading hills. And you might have noticed in the comments that this video is how to spread hilly ground. So the ground that I'm spreading at the minute is not the biggest hill in the world, but I'm not able to pull the pipe up it. So what we do is, when we come to ground like this, you make sure you have a bit of slack pipe. So as you can see, I'm not pulling a major amount of piping. You can see it's nice and slack. You make sure you twist it to the right side, and then you go back up the hill. And the reason, now I am dribbling the rest of the field, but the reason we use the splash plate over the dribble bar, even though I probably could get away with the dribble bar on this job, is because the splash plate throws it back that 20 odd, you know, that, well, wouldn't, dice is 20 feet, but however, because it throws it back so much, it fires it back, so you get more of the hill covered when you're doing this job. And the reason we go back up the hill is because when it comes to coming back down the hill, the pipe is to one side and you can just drive down nice and easy. You don't have to worry about getting caught in anything. One of the other things that to keep an eye on when you're doing this, especially when you're dribbling, is that in going up and down the hill, you don't get your arms caught in a raise or anything. That might be one of the biggest things to consider. But once you have some slack pipe, like once you're not pulling a massive amount of pipe, like what I'm doing at the minute, just had some slack pipe, there's no major pull on it for going back up the hill, you'll have no trouble getting up and down. And that's how we spread hilly ground now. This is not hilly ground, this is literally just a bit of a hill. I'm just making sure I get all of it done. But I was hoping one job we do for a dairy farmer, the hills in one of the paddock, you start at the top and you drive to the bottom of the field and you can't get back up the field. It is a sight for sore eyes. It is diabolical. I was hoping to do a video on it, but I happened to not have my camera on that day, so I just wasn't able to. Now something else, when spreading ground like this, usually when we're on top of the hill, we would splash just on the very edge to try and get that extra bit of a throw across the top, just to try and get it done. But there's no real need here because it's not exactly a massive hill, it's just a bit of a steep raise that you wouldn't be able to climb pulling a pipe. So this is the easiest way of doing it, making sure you get all of it done. I don't think I've anything else really to say about doing it this way. I hope you're able to hear me, and I hope that the video isn't too shaky or motion sickness. I have seen before while editing videos with the camera strapped to my head, all the moving around can make you feel very sick, so I hope that's not the case with this video. So that's the boss man is calling us on my stop. So now that is the hill spread, so I'll switch back over to my dribbling, and that's how we spread a hill. And it's the easiest way of doing it without causing any trouble, because if you try to pull a pipe up it, if you don't go up the hill and you gotta start trying to come back down on top of the pipe, you can get in an awful mess. Whereas when you go back up the hill, it is just by far the easiest way, it's the safest way of doing it. So it is. So that's really all I can think of. That's all I can think of at the minute to talk about spreading hills. One of the other things, spreading wet ground or wet patches that you can't drive through, you do a very similar thing to that. You make sure you have a bit of slack pipe and that you're not pulling a major amount of pipe, and then you just back into the wet spot as far as you go, well, as far as you're safe to go without getting stuck. And then that way you get to cover more ground. That's probably one of the things that having the splash plate on the dribbler is so handy, because we have a couple of jobs that have some knobby bits of hills in them. At the minute we're actually spreading in Top McConnell, good stone wall country, but that's really, I don't think I've anything else to talk about. Yeah, no, that's it. If you have any comments, any suggestions, anything like that, please hit me in the comments down below. That is it for me. Good luck.